welcome to a bonus episode of TheAscertainers. They're just going to go a real quick, actually what makes this a bonus episode is that we're recording this directly after the one that we just did, which was, I think, episode 9. So whenever this one comes out, hopefully it'll be in order. I probably shouldn't be saying all this. This is, how the sausage is made. But they just
you can do the who, what, why, and where.
They don't want to know how the sausage is made. They just want to know what time it is.
Phrasing.
Anyway, both of those were wrong. Yes. Who, what, why, where? We are the Ascertainers. The Ascertainers are the founding father, Mark.
Hello, everyone. Again.
Mark, tell us how you came up with the idea for the Ascertainers.
Put me on the spot. I was just listening to other podcasts, and I go, we could do that. And we were going to do it about sports, and then Jim shut me down. But
I don't like sports. I mean, I like sports, but we live in Minnesota, so why the hell would we talk about fucking sports? We're going to talk about how the Pirates are doing, or the Astros or something?
Frustrated Minnesota
right.
Yeah.
So that's the Who. The Who is Mark. Mark is the brains behind it. I'm more of the looks, and as you can tell, we're on audio only, so it's not good. The What is it's a podcast about music. I think we were going to be music, and then like pop culture, and it really comes down to it's a podcast about how much Mark and I can't stand each other, and music. And some neighborhood chit-chat, which is kind of fun. Because usually I'll throw out someone's last name, and Mark will have to edit it out. And that adds to the entertainment value. The why is, kind of like we just talked about. We want to just kind of try to brighten. If we can brighten one day, that would make me happy. It does not you, Mark.
If we can save one life, it's worth it.
Well, hey, man. That's borderline true. Hey, sometimes someone's just had a shit week, and if we can just like keep them from yelling at their kid or their boss or something like that, that would be considered a pretty good win for me. So, but yeah, we're just here to have some fun and spread the joy. And then as far as the where, it's not so much about the where as it is about the how can you help us share. Huh?
Oh wow!
See what I did there? Marketing. So anyway, we're on not every. We're on Spotify. We're on iHeartRadio. That other one. No, if you just Google the Ascertainers, it'll come up. And if you like what you're hearing here, and if you decide you want to share that with somebody that you think needs to have a laugh, or thinks that maybe they think they might want to get into podcasting, and once they hear our episode, they're like, well, shit, anybody can do that. Then just go ahead, share it. We don't care. We just want the numbers, the clicks, baby.
That's right.
And why do we want the clicks? Because we got a sponsor right on the cusp. We are on the cusp of a sponsorship with a little local restaurant that we like to call Newt's. Newt's. Newts. Mark, do you want to put the music in the beginning?
No, at the end.
Okay. You got
if I can remember it. Because you did the... Go ahead.
Some music is on a previous episode. If he deviates from it, we can just light him up. It'll be great. But anyway, we got this little place called Newt's. Great family restaurant, full bar, free popcorn, pull tabs. What was that noise? Wow, I hope that was a duck.
Someone stepped on a duck.
But
that was Mark opening up a pull tab.
Newt's. Oh, that! Wow! We got some real high fidelity CGI sounds. Can you do that with audio? Anyway, Newt's, great burgers, ice cold beer, great beer selection, full bar, pull tabs, great service, and great podcast supporter. Thank you, Newts.
Boop, 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 boop.
That's not what we talked about.
You know what threw me off is you were talking about what's that movie with Richard Dreyfuss?
Oh, Close Encounters.
Yeah, so now I got that music, and I can't remember what I was doing beforehand.
How many spaceships in that movie?
I've never seen it.
One.
Oh.
I think it's just one. Now I'm probably wrong. Oh, hey, make sure you write into TheAscertainers@gmail.com and tell me how wrong I am, you nerd. But anyway, we're cool. I just don't like movies that have more than one spaceship, more than 2 horses that aren't racing, and more than 3 bows and arrows. Okay? But anyway, so you like the music, the beer, 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 beer. That's what that...
No, I was doing the music for the commercial, and you said it sounded like...
Well, no, I think you're trying to communicate with Newts the same way that they were trying to communicate with the spaceship.
But I can use actual words with Newts to communicate. They are...
Point taken. All right, so my brother is here, Audie J. Known him my whole life. Good guy, I guess.
Never seen this guy before. I was just walking down the street and they said, "Hey, you want to do a podcast?" And I'm like,
We got some
what
beer.
else better I got to do?
Does that happen a lot to you? It sounds like based on the fact that you have the "I love to podcast" T-shirt on. I think that happens.
Yeah.
I think you're a target, buddy.
Yeah, you never were a good reader.
Amen. Brother. See what I did there? All right, so Audie J. Can I call you your first name? Do you mind?
Absolutely.
Jeff, my brother Jeff.
No, I absolutely mind. That's
Shit.
what I just said.
All right, got that out. All right, we'll call him.
Is this easy every time, Mark?
Yeah, he loves to say names.
It's I like this.
All right, fire away, bud.
Okay, well, we're gonna do the radio game. We have each pick 3 bands, and let's go in this order. I'm just gonna go across the top. Oh, actually, I'll just do Jeff's first.
I have a late entry.
No, it doesn't work like that.
So let me see. Now go ahead.
What's your first one?
I get 4. I get 4 because I'm the.
All right, we'll give you 4, and if you win on your 4th one, it won't count.
Right.
So, and the winning, if you win, you get a Tic Tac. It's in the bottom of my pocket. It's stuck to the fibers of my jeans. Anyway, Jeff picked the Rolling Stones, the Eagles, and U2. What's your 4th?
Billy Idol.
Nice. Thank you. Fuck, it's going to win, too. Mark went with Steve Miller, Blue Oyster Cult, and Hold Your Head Up. Whoa!
Hold your
Argent.
head up.
He went with Argent, which is just, man, I just want to get on the headphones so quick. I wrote this down, and I can't tell. Kansas. I picked Kansas, Rush, and Blue Cheer. Summertime Blues. All right. You guys talk amongst yourself. I'm going to put this on. I swear to God.
While he's doing this, I think I was remiss
Commercial?
last time and not thanking our other guest, Jason.
You tell me who that is, Jeff. That is Cheap Trick.
Oh, I didn't.
Damn it. They're Rock and Roll Hall of Famers from Rockford, Illinois. Can you confirm?
Were we on?
No.
No.
It was plugged into the goddamn thing. You're not going to get sued.
Are we on here?
Yes, you are. Your headphones are.
And I want everybody to know that my little brother is always yelling at me.
Yeah, your headphones are good now.
Oh, geez. What happened there?
He got attacked by the microphone.
Jeff just fell.
I'm okay.
I'm okay. Hey, he's okay.
He's back up.
Hey, here we
Wayne's
go.
World. All right, so here we are. So this is part 2. We were talking about underrated bands. I should bring you up to speed in the fact that Mark was misidentified, not gender-wise, but name-wise at the golf course today. Hilarious. So Mark,
I'm thankful that didn't go the other way for you there.
yeah.
Serious.
Well, actually, I did. He didn't call you sir or ma'am, but maybe it's better off that way.
Well, Dave is.
I think your culottes were very lovely.
Yeah, but was
today.
the kid like 17 to where he doesn't identify?
No, this kid had he had a little bit of a goatee. He was a 25-year-old, I would say, or older even.
My buddy that called me Dave?
His kid,
Oh, his kid.
whose initials I could say they're the same as mine.
Now you're judging goatees.
Well, no,
He's very
so-
judgmental.
I don't know a lot of people that identify as female that have a goatee. That's all I'm saying. But we don't get into that on this show. This show is about the best breakfast cereals and fun. No, it's about music, and we were going to talk about underrated bands, which we did.
I was going to bring up breakfast cereals. You remember the Quisp and Quake race around the world? And the one that won, the other one was they were going to quit making the other one?
I don't. That sounds
wow.
awesome, though. I remember one of them. I think I remember Quisp. Were they little bowls or little spaceships? What was
Yes,
Quisp?
it was a Martian on there. And I can't remember what Quake was, but Quisp won.
No shit, because
The
I never
race
heard of
around-
Quake.
No. Quake was the equivalent to Captain. Hey, you're talking to a guy with some experience.
Do you remember this?
Do I remember? I remember eating a whole box of Quisp after school one day.
Was there any chemical involvement?
Absolutely. And so
So you got real hungry
you want
after
to
school.
know stuff about cereal? Let's go.
Did you get real tired after that? But Jeff, I can tell you that we did not have, for us to have in our house anything other than we ate a shit ton of honeycombs, Life, and then one of the crappy Chexes. But we didn't get a lot of the good Lucky Charms and shit like that.
No, you forgot grape nuts.
Oh, yeah. Grape nuts. If you want to hide a cup of milk, just put them on your grape nuts.
And if you need to get rid of about a half a cup of sugar,
Yeah.
have a bowl.
Yeah,
of
the
grape
only
nuts.
way you can tolerate grape nuts is to make it unhealthy. And
That's all we had was Rice Krispies and Wheaties.
That was the fuck. Edit. You can edit that out.
Did you also have to walk uphill to school both ways every day?
Mark, write down the time so it's easier to edit that part out.
I'll get it.
I can't believe I did that.
I do.
The one thing, hey Jeff, what was the one thing that Mom could bring home from Barlow's that got you excited? It was a breakfast item.
Well, I ate day-old donuts at Barlow's every day during high school.
Oh yeah, well the day old donuts. The old man would go out and buy day old donuts. I think it was just so he'd go out and have a smoke, but he'd come back with day old donuts. But anything else that comes to mind that was not a day old item? It was a wrapped item. It was their bakery made it.
Well, they had like a cinnamon bread,
That's
pull-apart
it.
bread.
Cinnamon pull-aparts.
That was really
And
good.
the middle one was like not even cooked. You know, it was like a bunch of.
it was-
It was like a freakish loaf of bread. Is really what it was. That they underbaked, so it was like would put you to sleep.
But all the cinnamon was caramelized on top.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You didn't have to like put it. It was like you didn't have to cook it or nothing.
No, you could actually leave it
I
out.
can't believe how I'm describing this shit.
Well, you could leave it out on a picnic table for a few days, and then it would be actually pretty good.
And then the birds wouldn't be able to fly because it'd be so full of this. Anybody who's from Rochester listening to this, that went to high school with. In fact, I'm going to put this on our high school, my graduating class as a Facebook page. If you remember Barlow's and you remember the cinnamon pull-aparts, I think is what they were called. Hey, if you're still alive, way to go. You beat the pull-apart.
See, this is the beauty of our podcast. We're talking about music and
And we got okay.
underrated bands.
You want to do the thing? I know that.
Music and day-old donuts. Perfect.
Mark doesn't like to tie it back because it messes with his mind. But how do we get on Quisp? You started it,
I did.
but what was that from a band? No, it's from KQ.
No, you mentioned something about breakfast cereals. I thought I don't know.
And he did.
Oh, you know what it was? I said something about we're a podcast about breakfast cereals because I had nothing else. Because and how prophetic.
And now you are.
And how prophetic that was. If you could only have one breakfast cereal before you go to the electric chair, do you know what it would be? You can say no, I don't, and that's fine.
Most people have thought about this.
I'll say this. There should be a warning label on Captain Crunch.
That was going to be mine because I love it, but it hurts the top of your mouth.
Captain Crunch, especially with crunch berries, has like pumice in it. It might be made out of the same stuff they make lava soap out of.
Yeah, but Mark, if it's your last meal, you can milk that thing out for a couple of days.
Yeah, you want it. You know what? I would.
You
rather,
can't put me to death.
Yeah,
my
no.
mouth hurts.
You
I
don't
would
expect me
rather-
to rip my mouth up because I'm gonna die, do you?
I think I would rather bleed to death from roof damage than to get the mega gigawatts in my head blow
That
up
would
and my eyes
actually be
leak
a
out of
way
my
better
head.
way to go.
How'd he
All
kill
right.
himself? He ate Captain Crunch.
It's like crunch berries, and then look down at the floor.
He was put to death by the captain.
I've never had the crunch berries.
Overrated.
Really?
Overrated, Mark. Overrated. Don't.
Well, what you wind up doing is you eat around the crunch berries, so your last couple bites are just crunch berries.
I
think.
I don't like the crunch berries.
Well, even leaving them to the end is anticlimactic because all they are is just colored balls of sugar.
They're just fucking cheese puffs that are sweet.
Aside from the Captain Crunch, which is just a golden colored ball of sugar.
You know, the one I did like was the vanilla Captain Crunch with the whale on front. They were white ones.
Oh, no.
How
that's
old are you?
That's number one, that's sacrilege.
Oh, those
Also-
were awesome.
Oh, no.
I thought we were gonna bring a race in.
I think I guess I was the only one that
You're not-
liked them
you're-
because
you're not
they're
talking-
gone after.
I've never even heard of them.
You're not talking Lucky
Captain
Charms.
Crunch, white.
Yes, and they had a whale like
That's
Moby Dick on the front.
That was a hallucination.
Don't do that thing with your arm when you say Moby Dick. Moby Dick went horizontal. You're doing vertical, buddy. That ain't cool.
Well, it's a humpback whale.
No,
Kids listen to this.
that was Moby Dolphin is what you were doing there.
He was- oh boy, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna, someone's got to pull.
Should we go back to the music?
I don't know why. I think we're grooving on the cereal. Okay, of the checks.
Here we go again.
Of the checks.
Women?
Let's talk overrated Czech. No, not the Czechoslovakians. No, the cereal.
No, I thought you were saying chicks.
No, I think you meant Czechs, like, Czechoslovakians.
Check out those checks.
So I'm going to name all the Czechs that I know, and I'm going to tell you the most underrated Czech. There were corn Czechs, wheat Czechs, rice Czechs, and wasn't there another Czechs?
I don't believe so. Don't think so.
I think rice Czechs were the underrated one. And it might be because they had zero flavor, but still. They were the crunchiest. They held up best in milk.
Like Rice Krispies and Wheaties, you just dumped a bowl of sugar.
True.
And then you ate that, and then you had the sugar in the milk at
Oh,
the
you'd
end.
scrape it? Depending on what the bowl was made out of. If you were eating out of the fucking Cool Whip bowl, when the dishes weren't done.
You're both going to have diabetes.
Too
I
late.
don't wish that on you, but it's
probably
happened.
have. Oh, crap. I had another cereal thing because I think we need to move off the cereal topic. And, of course, I have one hanging out there. It left me.
All right.
All right, what do you got? Underrated bands. Speaking of bands, Mark, how much time we have, by the way? Last time I asked you, you said it's over.
No, we're 18 minutes in, so we got plenty of time.
This is good. And I will say that everyone gets one cereal mulligan. If they have one more cereal thought, they are free to interject it instead of talking about an underrated band.
Blueberry.
But we're doing
Blueberry.
Oh.
Blueberry. I ate a whole box of that.
What was the whole franchise? There was Count Chocula.
And Blueberry.
There was Blueberry. I thought there was a strawberry flavored one.
Well, it
too.
wasn't it was
was the-
Frankenberry.
Oh, well, that was one, but I don't... You know what?
I think
Ding,
Frankenberry
ding,
was
ding.
the red one.
Ding,
yeah.
ding. Well, yeah, like a berry, Jim. Oh,
That was the...
Well, fucking Blueberry. How is Blueberry different than Frankenberry?
Well,
They both have berry.
you said Count Chocula and...
Ooh.
Blueberry. Blueberry. Boo.
Oh, my shit.
Franken. Red.
Oh, that's where you got the Franken from. Nice. Wow. Silly me. Silly me. Tricks are for kids. Boom. Trix was not a bad cereal.
No.
I can taste
that was
the
boring.
different Trixes. Also,
I didn't care for Trix either.
Trix was also a mouth shredder. A big time. Kix we ate Kicks a lot at our house. That was like flavorless tricks.
Not after a half a cup of sugar.
Well, true.
Then it became Captain Crunch.
A good one was Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles
Fruity
from the
Pebbles.
Flintstones franchise.
That one did not need any sugar.
Didn't they have a peanut butter one too, or something?
They had a chocolate one with Bam Bam. What was that called?
Oh, yeah.
Count Chocula.
Count Bambula.
I remember him. Yeah, the Count would show up every once in a while. A couple decades later.
Was it Boom?
Kaboom.
Kaboom.
Kaboom cereal that made your shit green. Because it had so much food coloring in it, you would go to the bathroom and if you look back, you'd be like, what in the hell came out of me?
No,
I think all of them
Blueberry.
did that.
Kaboom for sure. And I love the name. I mean, come on. Let's just cut through the nuance. Kaboom. High fiber cereal.
Oh, we had Raisin Bran too.
As an adult, I think Raisin Bran is the perfect cereal.
That's actually
it's
a good
really good.
With a half a cup of sugar.
Gets the job done too, if you know what I'm talking about. There.
I don't.
Kaboom.
Can you explain it?
It's high in fiber, Mark. High in fiber.
Boom.
You take those red and green pills for that today. As
But
balance of nature.
did you actually like Raisin Bran growing up?
No, we never had it.
I
don't remember ever having it.
I didn't either.
Oh,
We ate the shit out of cereal though.
We did
that was
too.
That was kind of the thing back then. You give the kids cereal.
Yes, and that was all we had for breakfast, and that was basically what we had for snacks.
no,
also,
we'd get home from school and clean out the cupboard.
Right.
Because Mom wasn't home. We were latchkeys, so.
Mom worked. She
No.
She wasn't like a prostitute or anything, but she was a teacher. Mom was out work. Nobody was home. Empty house. Mom was out, turning tricks at the vocational institute.
Mark, is she has a master's degree in child development.
Oh,
and look at
wow.
Jim, and look at
What
Jim and I.
happened?
Why don't you just throw out her teacher's number? Sorry, don't.
Well, have you mentioned her name yet?
I have not, but
We're good.
I will say this. We never got her homework checked. She would be grading papers for her own students, and it's like, oh, hi. She was very busy.
True
she was
story.
a phenomenal mom.
She would phenomenal.
Of all the moms I've ever had, number one.
She just trusted me way too much. Jeff, is your homework done? Yes, it is, Mom. Okay.
Oh,
How'd that turn out?
Hi, how you folks doing?
right.
I'm now on a podcast.
Yeah, you're now.
a highly rated podcast. So.
My life is complete.
You're gonna get. We're gonna split the royalties on this episode evenly. So
You want me to give a Newt's commercial?
you better do a Newt's ad and pick up some aluminum tomorrow. So
Aluminum.
All kidding aside, we the three of us had dinner at Newt's tonight, and I arrived late because Jim didn't invite me to the early showing, so I showed up for the second.
whatever. You got into town when you got into town.
Yeah, what? Okay. But anyway, I had a chicken quesadilla. It was absolutely fantastic. Their guacamole, obviously homemade, very good stuff. And the beer was cold, and the service was awesome.
Hit it, Mark.
Do, 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 do.
I think that was different.
I think we might need to put our.
Wasn't that doo-doo-doo-doo?
See, that
It was
that
five
messed me up.
notes. I know it was five notes.
Was that
is,
not from E.T. though?
No, that was Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
All right, well, see, I'm not a
Well,
sci-fi
E.T.
guy.
they might have done music too, but for sure.
Elliot.
Do, 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 do. Okay, this is now turned into a effing nerd podcast. No, I won't have it. Too many. Okay, we're gonna. I bet we don't even get to any unrated bands. Mark, what you have more than I have, so why don't you give me one or two, and we can talk about them.
Well, I'm going to start off with Steely Dan. I didn't like them growing up, but I really appreciate them now.
When I got my first CD player, like in a home stereo sense, the first CD I bought was Asia. Is that how you say it? Is it? Because I loved how, just how kind of almost maybe too digital. Sorry. Also, you know how when I hear the word digital, all I can think of is when I have to go to the doctor once a year.
Right.
Is it possible to get an analog exam? I mean.
Yeah, but then you don't get dinner.
Oh my God. I have insurance. I shouldn't need either of that. But anyway, but yeah, Steely Dan. But I will say, if you were to find a less charismatic band,
Oh, yeah.
they were the biggest dorks ever. Hang on.
But they were... Oh, thanks. He's giving me some tissues. I have allergies. But they were kind of a rock jazz type. And I didn't... There was no way to pigeonhole them.
Right.
They were... Yeah.
No, that's...
I didn't appreciate them till later.
Your picks are just so much different and so much more adult than mine. But, oh my. I wonder what that's going to sound like.
I turned my mic off. Oh. I turned my mic off, hopefully.
Oh my God. I bet mine picked it up. But either way, I was going to like, oh, that's going to be loud.
Well, let's hope not.
So, Jeff just had to go and yell at the neighborhood kids.
No, I was looking for my phone and I was going to have you call it, but it's actually sitting right now.
So he went with
It's in my pocket.
his underrated band was Steely Dan, which I think is a just...
The reason I needed my phone was because I'm so crappy with bands.
Okay.
I needed to I needed to get on the Google here. So
Well, this is not how we do the podcast because we only have 40 minutes. So you do that.
Hey, I
while
wasn't here for the show prep.
Well,
okay? Give me a break.
well, we don't do.
We
show
don't
prep.
have prep.
I'm going to go with a band that I think that if the singer was better looking,
Milli Vanilli.
they would have been far more good. And this is bad, but this is a phenomenal rock band called Great White. You're gonna hold. You're holding your head's turning red like a turkey. What are you doing? What's wrong?
Me?
No, Mark.
No, Great White is... I guess I'm superstitious.
The fact that they
but I
burned
gotta-
down a nightclub, late in their career.
Well, I was going to bring that up, but...
It's not great, but Rock Me and what's the other one? I Don't Want to Face the Day. Those are two of the best songs from a rock song standpoint. They are up there against any Guns N' Roses song. But then again, Axl Rose not good looking, but they did fine. But I think Great White had a lot more in the tank, but they didn't get their due.
I won't argue with that.
Steely Dan. Geez, Steely Dan is in a whole nother stratosphere. And I'm down here bottom feeding with Great White.
I got one.
What do you got?
Gary Newman.
In my car. Dun, dun, dun,
Okay, name me
into
another Gary Newman song, and I'll say that he's
Pray
underrated.
into the aliens. That's
Okay.
Gary Newman.
Got one more?
No.
Well,
that's the only
certainly
song I know.
underrated. But Gary Newman was part of the new wave, I think you would say. Was he? You got him on your thing. Was he an American or was he a Brit?
Hang on.
Was he from York, Pennsylvania? Like Live? Third favorite.
If he's not from...
I believe he was from England.
Yes.
It was Gary Newman and the Two-Boy Army, and then also the Replicas. I think the album was called the Replicas, though.
All right. We're gonna go to Mark's next one. We got a bunch of them, so we got to fly through these.
Oh, I got tons. Let's see which one I'll pick here. I'm gonna go with Blind Melon.
Blind Melon. No Rain.
No Rain. Change.
Okay.
They got.
That's a 90s for you. That's
Weren't they at a
interesting.
Cheech and Chong album?
No.
Oh, no, that was Blonde Melon.
Yeah.
Shitless. Never mind.
Blonde Melon Shitless? Is that what it was called?
I think it was.
Yeah. Cheech and Chong. You rake my eye.
But they were a jam band that I really enjoy that type of music. But then drugs took the lead singer out.
No.
And they found
Really?
him in the tour bus on tour dead.
That sounds like Sublime. And they were the same era. I think that drugs took a lot of singers out at the in that mid 80s or in mid 90s kind of a thing.
Kind of like the Buddy Holly plane crash thing, That was
Drugs, bad
Plane
weather.
crash.
All right, I'm going to go with another 90s band. I'm going to segue off of yours. And this is a band that I think everybody knows their hit. everyone has heard their hit and everyone has enjoyed their hit. And I have a story about their hit after I tell you about Newt's from Apple Valley, Minnesota. Actually, Rochester, lots of locations down there, but also Apple Valley. Newt's, stop in. Say hi to Kayla and McKaylee and Corey, the general manager. Enjoy yourself a nice bowl of popcorn, a nice cold beer, and one of their many delightful menu items. And if you feel like ripping a couple pull tabs, they got them there too. So, Newt's, Apple Valley, stop on by. Longtime advertiser, boop, 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 we think, of the...
That was way different.
of TheAscertainers. And Mark is trying, every time I do I lay down some great copy. Mark does this baby thing where he does this thing. It's like, Mark, we're not talking about cereal anymore. But anyhow, the band is Fastball. They had a song called The Way. And the story behind The Way. So the chorus of The Way goes, anyone could tell the road that they walked on was paved in gold. It's always summer. They'll never get old.
You got to put some melody to that.
I can't. I don't.
I have no. Yeah, I don't know.
It's like, tell you what. If you are listening to this and you are, well, you're probably on your way to Newt's by now.
Call in now.
But look up on your phone.
We'll get it on the
Look on your
podcast
phone.
2 weeks
Look
later.
up. The band is called Fastball. The song is called The Way, and it's a song that was written about an old couple where the wife had like Alzheimer's. No, the wife had just had brain surgery, and the husband had Alzheimer's.
Wow, what
and
an uplifting topic.
And they drove out into the desert and died. And it's the best song you've ever heard. So if you, I'm not even kidding you, that's what it's about. It's a true story with a little bit of whatever license taken. It's Fastball. And they have like 2 or 3 albums. They kind of but they're kind of hooky and poppy, but also a little weird. So there, I got a little mad when I talked about Fastball.
You know, your picks are more
awesome,
not underrated, but more undiscovered.
What the fuck
is that
underrated?
the same as never heard of?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just.
All right,
But I'm trying to be nice to your brother.
All right,
He's my brother.
Hey, how much time we got there? We can start shooting for a 42 on this, yeah?
The 32.
We got 10 minutes. Well, that should be enough time for Jeff to talk about one of his, or you to talk about 3. So go ahead.
Well, I didn't prepare for this.
Do you have one?
No.
It's your turn. That Gary Newman one is
I spoke out of turn.
That was
so
like
I'm
a
going with Gary.
3-course meal there.
Little Feet,
Oh, yeah.
I know one song, and I love the song.
Down on the Farm, baby.
They're all talking about you.
Down on the farm.
The
Hogs
hogs.
bald, the pigs bald, the horses bald.
They actually had some
It ain't true, Linda Lou.
Hey,
other.
you're gonna get sued. God damn it!
That was, yeah.
I have a license to sing that song.
People won't know that that's not Little
Trust
Feet.
me, that wasn't even close. We're good.
Speaking of, can you unplug mine? I gotta do the thing. Can you do it without killing our ears? Oh, that seemed.
That was silent. That was silent, Mark. Good job.
All right, keep talking, boys.
You know, if you're going to talk about Little Feet, you can talk about Uriah Heep. Uh-oh.
Hate it when he does that.
Yeah, it's not even going to be close.
Damn it.
Now we got to stick the mic back in, or the headphones back into the right.
Stray Cats Rockin' at midnight. How do we miss? I mean, these are songs that have been.
But
around for-
it's such,
It's the time of night.
and it's such a.
I'm not on. Or my phones aren't on or something.
Oh, there you go.
Hello. Hey.
Oh wait, I'll turn you back off again.
Yeah, no, I liked it better that way.
All right, who's up?
You are, because I brought up while you were on checking that. I brought up Uriah Heep to go with Little Feet.
That's interesting.
Thank you.
Because Uriah Heep is one of the coolest band names ever, and I know of exactly one Uriah Heep song.
And it is great.
I just came up with another one, but I'll
Is
wait
it
my
is
turn.
it Stealin' When I
Oh,
Should Be
yeah.
Dying? Yeah. It's a good song. So there's I'm gonna go. Is it my turn or Jeff's turn?
Well, you
Either one.
Okay, there's a wow, everything sounds weird to me. Am I registering and stuff?
well, you don't look that.
You got your headphones on L. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, that's not right. No, I
Made
just
you look.
ever since I took them off, it's not. Honestly, I don't. Did you turn me down before you turned me? off?
No, I just turned the. No.
Notice Mark sounds perfect.
Oh, well, I don't know. Well, I don't.
No, that's better. Hey, Jim, you got to get on that.
And I
mic.
can't really even hear him. So just give me one more dip on the headphone. Just make sure I'm in.
All right. Well,
Now I'm moving my lips, but not. Hello. Oh my!
I
I think you're in the wrong hole, Mark. Honestly, I was only picking. I think it was. Yeah, this is great.
it's never the wrong hole.
Okay, let's go.
All right. So there's. Have you ever heard of a guy called Eddie Trunk? He's like a really, really famous DJ, and every time somebody dies or whatever, they want to hear Eddie Trunk. His favorite live album, and I've been listening to this guy for I've been aware of this guy for like 20 years, is UFO. UFO has a live album, and I'm like, I just can't get into UFO like this fucking guy gets into UFO. Anyway, but that's not on my list, but I know that's probably would be considered underrated. Jeffrey, did you go or no?
I can.
Go. Let's hear it.
Black Oak, Arkansas.
Nice. Mark,
You know, they are just like Blackfoot.
We're dating ourselves here, audience.
are they from Arkansas? Because Mark has Arkansas connections.
I do, but the style of music was if you liked,
It was country rock.
yes,
Basically.
but if you like Train, you're gonna like.
Jim Dandy to the rescue. Oh, Audie Dandy to the rescue. we used to live. I don't know how in the hell our little household in Rochester, Minnesota, how this came on across our TV screen, but there used to be a thing called California Jam. It was this big outdoor concert, and we would watch. Do you remember this, Jeff? Mm-hmm. That's where we got familiar with Black Oak, Arkansas, and Black Sabbath played. And I remember Ozzy would hold the mic, and he smoked so much his fingers were like yellow. And I remember Mom going, oh, I can tell he's a smoker because his fingers are yellow.
Well,
and I'm like, Mom, do you think that's the worst part about what Ozzy Osbourne's been up to? But
His
anyway.
fingernails were like an inch and a half long and just tobacco stained.
So how could you tell on the 10-inch black and white that his fingers were
We
yellow?
did pretty well. We had a 12-inch color. We had to change the channels with the pliers, probably. But anyway,
we had
No, we did.
a color TV, but it was only used for special occasions.
you had a color TV, and the color was black.
Was that Sunday night for Ed Sullivan, Mark?
No, I
Lawrence
think
Welk. Was it Lawrence Welk?
no. Elvis special in Hawaii. We watched on the color TV.
That happened once. You only got to watch that TV once.
That's the only time I actually remember it being fired up.
That was a weird special too, because it was during the daytime.
That's a low mileage TV.
and the crowd,
right there.
the crowd was
My dad didn't want to wear it out.
the crowd was not into that concert. That was the weirdest concert. Elvis was great, but it's like they pan back and show the crowd, and they're like,
It was all locals.
Well, it was
Yeah.
like they'd never heard of him.
Right. It was all local Hawaiians, and they were like grabbing them off the street to fill seats. And
It's like when we go over to Africa and hand out Bibles. Same thing.
yeah, it was what was that? Colonel Tom Parker. He screwed.
Anything for $1.
all right. Oh yeah, that I watched the most recent Elvis little knockoff with that
Tom Hanks?
young kid. Tom Hanks reminded me of like when like Rush would do these like parody of people, and they would play like one guy was a fat German guy, and it was like Colonel Tom Parker could have been could have been one of those guys. I was like, how is this guy so comically? I mean, if that was accurate, that just blows my mind. How that German of a guy.
It was. It wasn't really about Elvis. It was about Colonel Tom Parker.
Right.
And yes, and all that was true. I guess it came out later on that he had a gambling habit, and he.
Oh no, he fleeced them.
Yeah, and he didn't have he couldn't leave the country because he wouldn't be able to get back in.
Yeah.
So it was a sad story.
This episode needs to end on a better note than that. I will say this though, we've all kind of had our underrated bands, and
just let's end it with the Ohio Players, and we're out of here.
The Ohio Players. If there wasn't even a record in the sleeve,
all you needed was the album cover.
Totally worth it. Yeah, it was basically a poster.
It's why I became a fireman, Mark.
Oh my! Oh. Do you want to walk us through that?
You don't remember the album cover with the gals on the fire truck and the fire hose? That was the Ohio Players. Oh, yeah.
I remember one called Honey.
Phone in now, folks. Phone in now.
Wow. I thought it's, wow. This is...
With Roller Coaster, it was that album cover.
Ah. And the rumor was, and we can...
Roller Coaster.
Someone died on it.
Yeah.
No, what it was is...
The scream in the background.
No, it's a true story.
It's
I know a guy that was there.
It's a true story about somebody screaming like they were on a roller coaster, but people said, "Oh, it was a girl getting murdered in another studio."
No, the other side of the story was a girl really enjoying the ride.
Oh my!
The rumor I heard was that it was the girl was falling off the roller coaster and dying.
The rumor I heard was that Newt's has the best burgers in Apple Valley. They're right by your house because you live in Lakeville, which is right next door to Apple Valley. Anyway, we have to end this episode. Thanks for listening. Stick around for another bonus episode of Underrated Bands, because I think that we're onto something here. And Ascertainers, we want to hear your feedback, especially if you're the German guy or gal that's listening. We want to hear from you at TheAscertainers@gmail.com. You want to get to know us before we get too famous, because we're really not going to answer your emails, in a couple of months. So get in while you can. Thanks.
Thank you.
Signing
Next
off.
time.